up? It's Jan back at it again with another nerdy bookish video. This is going to be my spoiler-filled dedicated reading vlog for my March full moon book club pick, which is Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews. Hello everyone, look at this art. Let's just start with that. Like, can we just? So, Don't Let the Forest In. I haven't heard a single bad thing about this book. I heard the writing's exquisite. I heard the romance is, I don't even know how to explain it. Just like beautiful. I heard the vibes are great. I know some of my patrons who were chatting in the Discord who don't normally read YA even love this. So I'm really excited. I have a strong feeling I'm also gonna love it. I don't think there's a world where anyone could hate this book. This is gonna be spoiler filled. If you're new here, this is my full moon book club vlog of the month. Happy full moon, because ideally these go up every full moon of the month. So yeah, we'll be talking spoilers. I am currently on chapter 2. I'm filming another vlog at the same time as this, so let's hope my brain doesn't glitch out on us. It's currently Monday, March 10th, and this is supposed to go up March 14th, and I can do it. I have the audiobook, but I kind of want to really absorb the writing for this, so I think I won't use the audiobook until crunch time, you know, because I gotta get the video up for early access for Patreon at least a day or two early, because I like to do that every month. We start the book with "It hadn't hurt the day he had cut out his own heart," and that is just a killer opening line. I love it. And then we're talking about this boy, and then at the end of the first chapter it says, "Once upon a time Andrew had cut out his heart and given it to this boy, and he was very sure Thomas had no idea that Andrew would do anything for him, protect him, lie for him, kill for him." Seems like the stakes are gonna be high at some point. The father of Andrew kept telling him, like, just don't go into the forest, you have to promise me. Seems like there's something deadly in there. They're high school seniors. Thomas has abusive parents, so trigger warning for that. And apparently Thomas is haunted by something. He seems to have lost interest in his artwork, whimsically macabre sketches of the monsters from Andrew's wicked stories. That sounds fun. That sounds dark. I'm excited to read another YA horror. I feel like it's been a while. I just can't stop looking at this. I want this on my wall. I need to figure out if there's an art print of some sort. I'm already liking it. I'm liking the vibes. So I will update y'all when I read a couple more chapters, but I am working from home today, so I'll probably update like during my lunch break or something. Hope you enjoyed this vlog. Hope you enjoyed this book. If you did participate this month, or if you've read this and you're watching this for my spoilery thoughts, thank you for being here, and I'll see you later. Alright, I am 33 pages in. This one quote, I just wanted to read it out loud. I don't even really need context. It just says, "He could imagine Thomas's soft lips on his for approximately 5 seconds before the entire construction crumpled like wet paper. Because there was always after. There was always more. People didn't just kiss and continue on with their lives. They undid buttons and touched mouths to hot skin and lost themselves within each other." Excuse me? Yep. If that's the energy that this whole book has, which I'm pretty sure it does, balanced with good, darker, horror, gothic elements, this is gonna be a 5-star. I'm not saying it will be, but if it keeps this energy, then it will be. Honestly, it could very well be, because I haven't heard anyone give it less than 4 stars, to be honest. We're 33 pages in. There are cops at their school. I don't really know what's happening at the moment. I'm in the very beginning. I don't even think I'm on chapter 3 yet. Oh yeah, I am in chapter 3. There's this girl named Dove. Andrew has these concerns that she's gonna turn into academic rivals to lovers with Thomas. He's like, yeah, that can't happen because I love him and I will protect him with my entire mind, body, spirit. You know what I mean? I also wanted to say how beautifully crafted this little hardcover is. I love the spine. I love the shade of like tan, and it just feels so nice. But yeah, I'm just gonna proceed. This also has these pages where there's like once upon a time. So I wonder what that's about, but I guess we'll find out. This is a 327 page book. I think it's doable to read over 100 pages. There's art in here. Oh my god, that just got 10 times better. What was I saying? Oh, I think it's doable to read over 100 pages today, and then hopefully finish this like tomorrow, and then edit the vlog Wednesday. That would be a grand old plan. We'll see how it goes. Sorry, I'm feeling like really off, really low energy. Coffee didn't do anything for me today. I've been really craving like a strawberry banana smoothie, so I think we're gonna do that. It's like almost 70 degrees outside in March. That's wild. Feels like spring, but it also feels like my spring summer seasonal depression might be coming back. I might go on another run today. Yesterday I went on a 1-mile run. Maybe I'll push to 2. Maybe I'll do a whole 5K. Who knows? Who knows? Depends how hard the arthritis is gonna kick. That's the plan for the rest of the day. Also, sorry, my bad. Dove is Andrew's sister, just to be clear. And they're both from Australia, and they get a lot of shit for being from Australia. Like, there's this dude, Bryce Kane, who knows how to be terrible without looking terrible. So he like goes around being all charming and shit. For example, he would give someone a high five or squeeze Andrew's shoulder too hard, but he'd make it look like they're friends. That's shitty. I tried listening to the audiobook for chapter 4, and it's okay. I don't think I'm gonna use it. I think I'm just gonna use it again if I am on a time crunch or if I want to be doing other things, but I'll have the physical book on hand to like annotate, but I mostly want to read this one physically because the writing is gorgeous. Hi, I haven't read too much, but I figured I'd give one last update for the night before I get ready for bed. I did run 2 miles today, so yay me. So I got a shower still. I am 71 pages in. Andrew and Thomas are currently in a fight because Andrew implied that he suspects that Thomas has done some things, and those things might have included killing his parents and burying them in the backyard. A lot of people are spreading rumors about that, so Thomas was just extremely offended, but he was also acting kind of suspicious. So we're gonna try to unravel that, but Andrew's really mad whenever Thomas and Dove get closer and hang out a lot more than he and Thomas do. And apparently Andrew and Dove are twins, if I read that correctly. So there's that. It's reading really fast. I do prefer reading it physically, but like I said, the audiobook narrator is fine to listen to. The only thing that I would want to listen to are these pages, I think, because they're so hard to read. This font is awful. Like, who made this decision on the black pages too? Well, they're like a faded black, so it's like almost gray. It's like a variation of the papyrus font. It's just so hard to read. It just takes a lot of effort. So I think I would want to listen to those, but I mean, it's no big deal because they're usually like half a page of words. I'm still liking it. It's just the way this author describes things, like a freckled kid with a reckless mouth and hair kissed by the devil. Andrew wanted that to be so full of fierce life it spilled over his edges, so people would stop trying to pry apart his bones and see why he was riddled with peculiar agonies. Oh my god, this one part though, when Thomas was like, I think someday you'll hate me, you'll cut me open and find a garden of rot where my heart should be. And then Andrew said, when I cut you open, all I'll find is that we match. That was cute. But yeah, just the way this author strings words together, loving it. Can't complain. 10 out of 10. Hello again. Sorry for the lack of b-roll in this vlog, but we're just gonna keep chatting away. I stayed up till midnight to read up to page 114. First of all, the art in this is freaking wild. Just need to show y'all this first one because that's probably why I had a nightmare last night. Look at that, is freaking creepy. So Thomas draws for Andrew's books, and it's super cute because he like illustrates for them and stuff. And then we find out that he has been going to the forest every single night to try to defeat these monsters that he's created because they've come to life, and he's trying to keep them from crossing the fence and killing everyone he loves, essentially. So Andrew encounters one, a monster. Thomas saves him, and all the confessions spew out of him. Thomas is really hurting about it, and we find out that his parents were killed by a monster, and Thomas does blame himself, but he obviously didn't directly kill his parents. There's a lot of struggling on Thomas's end, and it's so sweet because Andrew feels broken, and Thomas goes, I like how you are. There's an entire world of ink and magic stuffed inside your head, and I think it's beautiful. I just wish everything didn't hurt you so much. So Andrew's also going through some shit emotionally, mentally, and they're just like two local sad boys just helping each other out. It's a beautiful story. And we're coming up on another monster. Thistle fairies. Look at them. They're fucking creepy. Hopefully, maybe I can finish this today? Question mark. I have like 210 pages left. I mean, that's doable. It's YA, so there aren't too many words per page. And there are those pages with pictures and the pages with the Once Upon a Time story, which I am assuming is Andrew's books. That's a perfectly reasonable reasonable assumption to make, right? Anyway, I have to go to work. I was supposed to leave like maybe 15 minutes ago, so I'll talk to you after work, and I'll try to get some B-roll to break these chatty parts up. Good evening. I cried my makeup off because we were watching Modern Family, and some of those episodes just make me cry. I'm on chapter 17 now. I listened to another chapter via audio just to see if they described the art in the audiobook, and they do not. So you're really missing out if you don't have the physical copy and you're able to read it with your eyeballs. I forgot to mention earlier how good the anxiety rep is in this, because Andrew has panic attacks and deals with anxiety on a daily basis, and Thomas tries to help him through that, and then Thomas has his own literal monsters that he's dealing with that Andrew's trying to help him with. I feel like I'd be all in if it were in autumn that I'm reading this. I'm usually not like a seasonal reader, but I will say I would be more in the mood for this type of book come autumn. I don't know, usually I'm in the mood for these books year round. I just don't know why now I'm just like, okay, it could be like just a high 4 rather than a hard 5. But there's nothing wrong with the book. I mean, I think we can all agree that I'm the problem here. Their relationship, I can't remember who it was who warned me. I guess warn is like a harsh word, but who informed me or us in the Discord, I think. Someone was like, keep in mind, they are very much codependent boys. So if you have that perspective, then it's more understandable as to why they're acting certain ways towards each other. But yeah, I'm at the part where this creature has entered the chat. It was right after Andrew took a bite out of that peanut butter sandwich and he bit into black wormy soil, grubs wriggling with their guts pulsing out their severed edges where he had bitten in. So that was fun to read. Yeah, I mean, it gets dark, especially for a YA. I think it's really well done horror writing mixed with such beautiful, expressive professions of love. And the little gestures, like Thomas slipped his hand in Andrew's back pocket, and it was just like these little touches that they have. Like the tension is palpable, my dudes. It's definitely there. And all the descriptions about autumn, they're like in early October right now. It's just funny because they were just talking about Halloween. They basically said like, your whole country is obsessed with Halloween. I don't know what it is and blah blah, and I was like, tell me you're from Australia without telling me. I'm still really enjoying it. I'm 160 pages in. I think I'm gonna just listen to the Spotify playlist and read it physically for as long as I can. We'll see how I feel around the 200 page mark. I'm definitely not going to finish this today because I had a late start. I have just been off lately. But I love this freaking background. I can't get over these orange lights. I'm going to continue reading. I will talk to y'all when I have another reading update. Something crazy happens. Okay. Also, there was a part that just happened as well where this pride flag was slashed. The GSA, the Gay Straight Alliance at the school, were like, this is a hate crime. And then Andrew, we find out that he identifies as asexual, and there were all these discussions about sexuality in those few pages. They start talking about how all these girls have crushes on Thomas, and Andrew feels all jealous and starts feeling all uncomfortable. I thought that was handled well. If you couldn't tell, I'm very tired and out of it, but I want to keep updating so I don't forget more and more things, because I feel like there's a lot to say. Like, this book is doing a lot. I don't think it's doing too much at all. Like, I think it's perfectly done. I'm just personally, I think, not in the mood for this dark fairy tale-esque type of story where drawings are coming to life. I just feel like I've read it before in a different way, but again, still loving it. Still could be a really high 4-star. I don't doubt it. It's definitely not going to be less than 4 stars. Holy shit. As soon as I turned the camera off, I got to this part where the Antler King obliterates Clemens, the dickhead teacher, who just hates everyone and is trying to get Andrew and Thomas in trouble. Oh my god, the Antler King reached up slow and methodical and broke off a piece of its own horns. It still held Clemens by the throat, its claws puncturing into skin so blood oozed from Clemens's neck. The monster twisted the piece of antler as if to inspect it. Then it rested the tip between Clemens's wide eyes. So it's like between his eyes. Okay, Clemens is freaking out. The Antler King smiles, grins evilly, maliciously, and then it drove the bone shard right through Clemens's face, right in front of Andrew. Blood exploded across the Antler King's chest as Clemens's body spasmed like a butterfly hooked by its wings. Slowly, the Antler King dragged the shard from between Clemens's eyes and he licked it. Then he began carving the skin off of his face. The slabs of skin from his face hit the floor in soft slaps like pieces of wet leather. Shut the fuck up. This is YA. Crazy. Okay, if the kills and like the horror elements maintain that energy, I think it just bumped itself up to a 5 because that was wild. Okay, wait, so Thomas rescued Andrew from the vines that were like tangling him after the Antler King killed Clemens, and then Andrew goes, "No, you don't understand. You're the one covered in blood holding a weapon." Understanding bloomed in Thomas's eyes, wretched and terrible. But then when they're in the bathroom washing the blood off, Andrew's the one who sees the Antler King in his reflection. I'm confused. And then it says Andrew was the murderer. He'd done this. Was that Thomas convincing himself that Andrew was the murderer because he's the one who wrote the stories? Or did I misread something? Because I had to read that part like 3 times now. Andrew's world spun slowly, sick and sticky. Quote, Clemens, ... quote. And then Thomas said, "He's dead." And then Andrew said, No, you don't understand." Andrew's voice scraped over each raw word. "You're the one covered in blood, holding a weapon." So did Thomas kill Clemens? I'm confused. All right, we're in it. We are in it. We are in it. We are not looking back. We don't need the audiobook. We're flying. I have 100 pages left. They just confessed. They just confessed that they like each other. And Thomas almost slipped and said, "Damn it, Andrew, can't you tell that I'm in ... that I like you because I like you a lot." I'm losing my goddamn mind. I'm losing my goddamn mind. Thomas brought it up. He was like, "We're not talking. We're not communicating. We sleep in the same bed every night and we don't even talk. Like, we just act like that's not happening." He's like, "It's ruining me." Andrew was just like not making eye contact. And then Thomas goes, "You could cut me open and devour everything that I am. I would let you. I'd ask you to. But I have no idea what it means to you, what I mean to you." And then Andrew said he likes him. And Thomas was like, "But do you want me?" He's like, "No fucking shit, I want you." Okay, Andrew's like, "Oh my god, I'm in love with you too. But like, I'm not gonna say it because that's too huge. Because like, what if my sister loves him too? But like, also, who the fuck cares? I just will never understand. I don't have a sibling. So like, I will just never understand why he's pulling a Dave from Love is Blind season 8. Like, why do people let their siblings get in the way of what their heart wants? And then Thomas goes, "Everything inside me is in ruins for you." And then Andrew tells him that he's asexual, so they're like about to talk about that. But we are at 100 pages away from the end. Joey's sleepy. I am not. So I'm gonna proceed to read for the foreseeable future, and then I'll probably finish this in the morning. So tomorrow's Wednesday. I have a coffee shop date with one of my patrons, Everest. We hung out last week. We just like to co-work because they work from home and we like accountability. We like to just sit in comfortable silence, you know what I mean? So we're gonna go to my favorite coffee shop. I'm gonna finish this book before 10 a.m. Well, before like 9:30 when I have to leave for said coffee shop. I'm gonna finish this, I'm gonna get some editing done, and then we're gonna end this vlog. Okay, so plot-wise, aside from the romance, the plot, they realized that they can defeat the monsters, but Andrew has to write it out. And it can't just be like, boom, bam, the monsters are dead, we live happily ever after, the end. He has to like take the Sharpie, write in the bark of a tree, or whatever he can write on at the moment when the monsters are like mid trying to eat them alive, basically. And he has to write this like macabre, suffering-filled story, and then they can die. They just went through the bone, what are they called? The bone shrikes? The boners? The bone shrikes. So they scream, whoever is listening basically has to bare their soul to these creatures. But in this scene, Andrew wrote, their enchantment happened in reverse. It was the Bone Strike's secrets that spilled. The shock and shame of losing their own secrets caused their own words to devour them whole. So like he has to make it this like poetic, fatal situation. It can't just be like quick and easy, painless type of death for these monsters. So it is fascinating, but I'm still not getting that 5-star feeling. I don't know why. Maybe because it's a little bit melodramatic. Maybe because it's YA and then this dramatic, and it's not a romantasy that's supposed to be this dramatic. Does that make sense? I think that's why I'm not fully there. But they're cute. I'm rooting for them. I like that they're starting to be communicative with each other whilst fighting these creepy creatures. I hope it's 5 stars by the end. But for now, we're gonna get ready for bed and I'll update in the morning. Probably looking gross. Oh, it is 10:40. The lo-fi was hitting. I was listening to Lo-Fi Sleep Mellow Lo-Fi Beats by Chilled Cat Music on Spotify. It's like a 19-hour playlist. I love this. It like didn't make me sleepy. It's like the same type of lo-fi as Little Soul on YouTube, that channel, because the playlists for this had too many words. It was just too much for 10 p.m. So yeah, 100 more pages. How exciting, how exciting, how exciting. I hope I can get this up by tomorrow night for Patreon for early access. Then they can get it 2 days early. So then this can go public on Friday. That's the plan, Jan. Good night. Oh, Joey started a new book. Tell me what you did. I think this is one of Gabby's book troop picks soon, so I'm gonna read it soon because it has the shortest chapters I've ever seen in my life.
It's got 100 chapters. It's got 404 pages.
I'm so excited. And it's good?
I'm 80 something pages in and it's good so far. It being how long it was, I thought it was gonna take a long time to get into the meat of it, but by like 40 pages in, you start to...
It has like mixed media, right?
Yeah, it's a podcast, so there's a lot of
Does it have like effects in the audiobook?
Not really, but during one of the interviews, there was like sobbing and stuff like that, and it'll show like how much time passed of like silence, like 30 seconds of silence, because it's like live audio kind of thing.
But it doesn't sound like they're on the phone.
No,
like,
nothing like that.
Okay.
Not yet, at least.
Because A Good Girl's Guide to Murder had that. They're a podcast, so like the interview, like it was like a little bit muffled type thing.
Yeah, that would have been pretty cool.
I'll just read it physically then.
I mean, the audiobook is good because I can't really say much, but like, there's a guy and a girl, and
so it's a full cast.
Yeah, it goes back and forth while they're talking to each other.
I'll probably just read it physically because I love reading short chapters physically. Anyway, this vlog's not about this book, but...
Yeah, or me.
All right. Good night. Hi, good morning. I have 28 pages left, but I am right at the part where it says 5 months earlier. I don't know what's real anymore, okay? I read a lot last night. I stayed up until midnight again. Okay, so Bryce is dead. Bryce snitched on Andrew for going to the forest. Principal, or the groundskeeper, found the writing, the stories that he wrote on the trees and stuff. And so Bryce and Andrew are in the principal's office. And then a few hours or a day later or whatever, shortly after, Bryce dies. There's moss and like vines and branches and stuff coming out of his eyeballs and body. He was in the art room. And then Dove comes up to Andrew and is like, you need help. We're gonna get you help. We're gonna call Dad and you're gonna get help because the principal was basically trying to expel Andrew. Then Andrew, of course, was like, let me show you that these monsters are real. I know you're not gonna believe me, but let me just show you. He takes her to the forest and she's like, what are you talking about? Thomas isn't here. That's impossible. You haven't been talking to him because he's not here. It's all in your head. He got arrested for murdering his parents. That, I was like shocked, but also it was a tad predictable in my head because as I was reading, it started to feel like this one movie on Netflix that Joey and I watched recently. If I say which one, it's going to be a spoiler, but I'm just going to say it's on Netflix. It's about a mom and 2 sons, and that is all. And then shortly after that, he goes and runs and finds Thomas in the forest. And then he's like, I was just talking to Dove. She's almost here. We need to show her what we've been doing. And Thomas is like, that's impossible. Dove is dead. That I did not see coming. And then now I guess we're gonna figure out which one's real, which one's the truth or not 5 months earlier. We're 300 pages in. Let's do it. I'm gonna go to the coffee shop by myself now because Everest is sick, but that's after I finish this book. Okay? Okay. All right, everybody. I finished my book and it's 11:30 on a Wednesday. On a Wednesday. I love that song. Pieces of Me by Ashley Simpson. On a Monday, I am waiting. Okay, I am giving it a solid 4 stars. The ending was good. It was kind of up for interpretation, kind of obvious, but also it was good. It was beautiful. I like how the monsters symbolized Andrew's mental demons. I liked the twists and reveals about Dove and Thomas just being in his head, making you think what's real and what's not, and then all the full circle moments at the end. The very first line talking about cutting his own heart, and then that scene being at the end, and then all those things that Thomas said. I think you would hate me someday. He said that earlier, but we didn't know why, and then we find out it's because he blames himself for Dove's death, because he wasn't with her in the forest because they had a fight about Andrew and how she wanted it to be like us three, and Thomas wanted to ask Andrew out. And it's kind of ironic because the entire book Andrew was worried about Thomas asking Dove out and them not being us three anymore. I mean, I can't relate, but I've been hearing from my patrons that the ACE rep is really good and the neurodivergent rep. I mean, I could relate to the anxiety rep. I think that was really good. It really felt like I could not breathe reading those parts where Andrew was having anxiety attacks and panic attacks. I've only had I don't know if I've ever had a full-blown panic. I think I have. I just never called them panic attacks because my brain does that thing where it's like, was it really? Are you being dramatic? And it's like, it probably was. I mean, I felt the way Andrew felt at certain times in my life. So that was powerful. Again, the writing, 10 out of 10, no complaints. It did get a little bit too angsty at some points where I was just like, okay, this is YA, remind yourself that this is YA. But at the same time, the horror elements could have been from an adult horror book, some of them. I appreciated the illustrations. Can't wait to read all of my patrons' thoughts in the Discord, all the spoilery thoughts. I can't wait to hit the blacked out text, and I can't wait to read everyone's comments about this book when I post this vlog. I think that's all I wanted to say. I feel like there's so much more, but my camera flashing is distracting me. So I'm just gonna end it here so I could head out to the coffee shop. I took a long ass nap, so I gotta make up time. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for reading this if you did this month for Full Moon Book Club. If you made it to the end of this video, put the rose wilting emoji. Let me know what you thought of this book. Hope you had a 5-star day. Don't forget to do some self-care, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.